2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ was crucified for our sins, making the greatest sacrifice to save us all. 600 years ago, the printing press was invented by Gutenberg, giving information and experience to the masses. 250 years ago, the United States of America would battle the British in order to preserve their own freedom. However, that would never stop us. Hundreds of years later, factories started to conquer the world, giving way for mass production for people, allowing for a more fair world. However, this came at the expense of human condition and lives. Not shortly after, the Titanic struck an iceberg at 11:40 p.m., slowly sinking into the freezing water below. Men gave their lives in order to keep their families living. June 6, 1944, thousands of men stormed the beaches of Normandy to break their way into the German front, a battle that consumed lives but ultimately gave way to a ploy to stop the Germans from conquering the world. 6 years ago, a disease spread over the world and forced a mass quarantine within our houses, but through rigorous effort from scientists in the world, a vaccine was able to be produced. Human life is able to persevere through so much. They keep battling regardless of what faces them. We are strong, and all these feats, all these sacrifices are made just so I can play Overwatch in 2026. Overwatch is a game that is very important to me. I got the game back in 2017 on disc, no less, and it means a lot to me. It taught me so much about online gaming. It made me realize how unique and fun shooters could be. It gave me severe anxiety for talking in online video games because I was a very squeaky, pubescent boy. And throughout the years and across 3-ish accounts, I've probably sunk over 300 hours into this game. Now, to many of you out there, that's not a lot. There are people out there with 1,000 hours in quick play, so how can I get nostalgic if I have less than half of that? Well, Overwatch and I have a complicated history. There is probably no game I've quit and come back more to than this game. I've got to tell you, probably like 7 to 8 times I've picked it up for a month or two and then just completely quit. So with that schedule, I've seen this game so much. I've seen it at its best and its worst. I've seen this game age so much. I was there during the age when we made jokes about Jeff Kaplan, and now he's been gone for like 5 years. However, if you read the title, you've seen it's been a while since I've clocked into the old watch. Well, with the new rebrand Overwatch is going through by ditching that stupid ass 2, I thought no better time to return to this game. I stopped playing Overwatch shortly after the start of Season 2, so right after Ramacho joined the game. I also hopped back on to play Lifeweaver when he first came out. I played one game and then I just quit again. We'll see soon that I'm not a huge Weaver fan. So technically the last time I played was 3.5 years ago, but I don't care. And my goal with getting back on was to reevaluate and see how the game was in its current state. As well, since I finally got a decent PC back in 2023, it was my first time playing on PC, which I was excited because I always find FPS games a lot more fun on PC. So one day, I hopped on with my buddy Malik, and I gotta admit, I was nervous. I mean, it's been 4 years. What if I'm straight dookie now? So there was only one thing I could do. I had to experience tranquility. Little known fact about me, I am the greatest Zenyatta player to ever touch Overwatch. Why haven't I been in the Overwatch League? I'm just too good for those guys. I let them play and have their own fun time while I'm, dominating in quick play. So for my comeback game, I hopped on my boy and we replaced in King's Row. And on that beautiful London night, we found out Unk still got it. I balled the fuck out on my first game back. I am the greatest Zenyatta player ever, but man, even I was surprised. So from there on out, I was binded to my chair and I played Overwatch. Over a couple weeks, I played about 35 hours of Overwatch just to see how I feel now, trying all the new characters I haven't experienced, ranging from Ram to Sierra. And I gotta say, I felt pretty much blind. For someone who knows this game, I would say pretty decently well, I just didn't know what I was doing. There was all these new maps and all these new characters, and there was a lot of change around. So let's talk about those changes and see how I feel now. Now I'm going to save characters for later because I have a lot more to say on all those characters. And also, it's by far the most interesting thing I have to say. So starting with how the game is, well, I first want to state I am still conflicted on 5v5. I think 5v5 is a lot less chaotic and more chill. However, the balancing is a lot worse. If your tank dies in 5v5, unless your like whole team is alive and most of theirs is dead, you lose. Well, in 6v6, you can still win with just one tank. It might be a little hard, but you definitely can get away with that fight. And while right now, I still lean a little bit towards 5v5 just because I find it a more fun experience and less sweaty, I might just say I like 5v5 mainly for quick play, and then like the
OWCS
should probably just be 6v6, as I find that more like professionally engaging. But that's old news, we've had this conversation for years now. Perks were the hot ticket item that made me stop playing the game for every character and just start reading. And I gotta be honest, I don't know if I'm too fond of them. I think the powers they give are cool, but they feel so limited. I mean, you seriously only get 4 options, and I never find myself picking another option all too much. I usually pick the same 2 perks because one is usually better than the other. I do like how they discourage swapping since you lose your perks. I think it's interesting to be like, do I want to lose all my perks, but I might swap to a character that's better against another character. But then again, none of the perks change the game all too much. I wish the perks could really make the game go wild and make every game feel different. And, oh! Hey, Stadium. Okay, I can't say too much here because I didn't play that much Stadium, but I gotta say, it's pretty sweet. Ignore the fact that maybe it released to combat another popular hero shooter at the time, and embrace that this is the most out there thing Blizzard has done with this game in a while. Because Overwatch has always had really good core mechanics, and their characters are all well designed. So fuck it, let the players go balls to walls with all these wacky abilities and builds. Again, I haven't played too much of it, so I can't comment a ton, but it's cool and I respect it a lot. Now for another game mode I haven't played too much of, Flashpoint. And let me say something here, that is not out of my feelings for Flashpoint. Oh no, I actually don't mind Flashpoint that much. Quick tangent, sometimes I can't stand map voting. Yes, people, I dislike Numbani too, but is it seriously worth it to play the same 5 maps over and over and over again? I'm sick of it. I feel like Squidward and Squidsville playing Kings Row, Ilios, Shanghai, Colosseo, Route 66, Eichenwald over and over and over again. Sometimes I need the SpongeBob that is Junkertown to heal me. Also, when it comes to maps, you people don't know ball. Oh my god, Colosseo and Eichenwald specifically blow. Colosseo is the worst push map, and that's saying a lot. It's push. And Eichenwald, oh, Eichenwald, don't get me started on Eichenwald. Your team pretty much has to become a dive comp on attack to even stand a chance on this shitty fucking choke point. So then, this problem sweeps over to Flashpoint. Guys, Flashpoint isn't that bad. Is it better than Control? Hell no. But god, you would think it murdered every puppy in the world the way people talk about it. And yeah, New Junk City blows and Servasa is fine. But Atlas is a sick map in my opinion. All this said, sometimes democracy isn't good. And map vote is a key point in that, because now we just get to select the same thing over and over again. Hooray! Okay, I do want to update this because when I started writing this, technically this feature wasn't out yet, but whatever. With the new update in map vote, there is now a selection to pick a random map, but this is equally as stupid. Okay, so pretty much your options are, here are 3 maps, and then if you don't want to play those 3 maps, we do the same thing we did before in the previous game. We just give you a random map. So pretty much we're just taking extra steps to pick a random map. We're just going in a big ass circle. Here's a quick game mode ranking, just because I feel like it. From best to worst is Control, then Hybrid, then Payload, then Flashpoint, and then Push, which is so much lower than the rest of them, it's not even funny. I fucking hate Push. I do also want to say, I kind of wish they would bring some of the old maps back. Look, I get it, no one really liked Paris or Lunar Horizon Colony. Those maps are annoying, but right now the roster feels so limited, and like, I know you have these maps and we have map vote for a reason, so just like put them back in the game. I want more maps. It would be nice to have more maps. Completely off topic. We're gonna get to some other stuff now. Let's talk about loot boxes. I'm glad they brought loot boxes back. The skin prices in this game are still ridiculous, so it's nice to get free stuff every once in a while. Not a big fan that they refresh every 3 days instead of every day, but hey, take what you can get. It's a free game now. I get it. It's better to have every third day monetary. That's I don't find mythicals that cool. Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes the skins are cool, and I technically have the Genji mythic from season 1. I guess some of the weapon ones are cooler. I kind of don't mess with the skins, but the weapon ones are fine, especially someone like Cassidy who has like the cool animation where you can flip it. That stuff's cool. Also, give everyone a mythic skin before you give another character a second one. That's fucking ridiculous, Blizzard. And arcade is still cool. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of dancing around the bush. I guess the other gameplay aspects aren't the most important part of Overwatch. Let's talk about here. Gonna keep this short, and then I'll do a quick ranking at the end to do all the heroes. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about my experience with all the new heroes. I really like Ram. In fact, he might be my main tank now. Nemesis mode is cool. I really messed with how his shield works. I like his lore a lot. Just Blizzard, give him actual skins I can buy, not this traveling monk bullshit. I don't get Weaver. Maybe it's because whenever I play support, I like to be aggressive and heal, and Weaver is like just healing. But I don't like how his heal feels. His ult is kind of just Zen's ult, but he places it down, and I don't know, he just really wasn't that fun for me. I can see a lot of other people having fun on him, but it's just not my way to play support. His platform and skins are pretty sick though. Alari is cool. I really like the pylon and her whole aesthetic as a whole. The sword gun is cool. I like the semi-auto feel of her gun and having to wait for it to charge. And her ult feels really satisfying when you get a good one off. She feels like an interesting DPS healer mix, and I always appreciate when they get that done well. Malga is maybe the most fun new character to play. If you get a team that feeds, it generally feels like the most euphoric sensation playing Overwatch. Just mowing down people with these giant guns. But when against an actual composition, it feels a little less fun. His design's really cool too. Venture is sweet. Their kit is just super fun to use, and once you kind of get what's going on with it, you feel like a sneaky ninja disappearing to the ground and going on top of everywhere. However, as much as I like Venture, I hate playing against Venture, and it's for the exact same reasons I like playing as them. Juno is a character where I really like the design and the voice actor, but her kit really just isn't for me. Her speed ring feels a little weird to me, and her torpedoes I just never really got the hang of. But Juno is adorable, and I'll never mind having a Juno on my team. Hazard is maybe the most unique tank in the game. Someone like Winston was considered to have a lot of movement for a tank, and well, look at this weird guy. I am not a huge fan of his gun, but I really like the rest of his kit, especially that jump slash. And he makes me wonder, is his VA really that Scottish, or is he really hamming it up? Because this dude's accent gets insane sometimes. Freya is cool. I just can't aim. I like the movement, but yeah, I'm too bad at this game to play her. Wu Yang was the big surprise for me. First game on him, I thought I was going to give up because I thought his gun was going to be too hard for me to use. But after a couple games, I got the hang of it, and I love his kit. I really like his movement, the fact that he can be both hyper aggressive and super passive. And yeah, I was just super surprised with this character. I didn't even know like he existed for a while. I was watching a clip of like a competitive game, and I saw him on like the healer side, and I was like, who the hell is that? Vendetta pisses me off. Onron is pretty cool, I guess. Ignore the fact that Blizzard kind of fucked up her design on launch. She's really cool. I like the fan gimmick, and her mobility is really fun. Her invincibility move is kind of much. That move makes me mad to play against, but I'm always down to play some Onron. Domina is the exact character that I love to play, but I can't stand playing against. Her shield especially makes me so angry, but I love using it. Her gun is so satisfying when you get a solid pop on an enemy, and all the little explosives in her kit are so fun to use. Also, design and lore-wise, I love this character. Gives me the same vibes as like a Homelander, just someone bred to be monetization. Emre kind of just gives me COD vibes, and it feels like whenever they revive this game, they put in like a COD character. But he's cool, I guess. His design's fine, and his ult is pretty fun to use. Mizuki is real fun. His aggressive playstyle is so engaging, but it's so cool that it's unique to himself. Because when you hop on this character, you only think, oh, I have an aura around me, I'm like Lucio. But he doesn't feel like Lucio at all. He feels like his own character. And when you get a good chain and your whole team just jumps to one guy, mwah, that's beautiful. I really wanted to hate Sierra, because I was making this video before she was announced and I had to delay it to play her. But she's actually pretty fun. Her movement is real cool and the tracking dart is not busted. They actually released a character somewhat balanced. However, when I was playing her, I had super bad lag because I guess Blizzard fucked up the servers in the most recent update. Good job, guys. And that's a wrap on all the new characters. Let's rank them all from worst to best, in my opinion. Also, this shouldn't be taken too seriously. I think all these characters are pretty decent, and really this isn't a serious ranking. It's just kind of something I cobbled together. Weaver, Freya, Emre, Alari, Juno, Vendetta, Anran, Hazard, Cat, Sierra, Mauga, Mizuki, Domina, Venture, Ram, Wu Yang. It's real close between those final two, though. I really like both those characters. Overwatch will never go away. It's a game that has pretty well cemented itself in pop culture. Even when Blizzard fucks up for the millionth time, this game and its community keep going. And with probably the most players playing right now in years, things are looking bright for this game. Some things are still in a rough state, like still those skin prices are egregious. But even so, I'm happy that the game is in such a great state. I think it's pretty fun right now. The gameplay never really means that much to me. It's more how Blizzard's doing at their job, and I think they're doing a decent job right now. I think the best thing they're doing is finally getting more with the community and understanding what the community wants, which is such a big aspect to making an online game that so many games miss. As for me, I'll still play the game here and there, especially on PC where it's way more fun. I don't think I can ever play this game on console again, but I am kind of tired. I've been playing this game for almost 10 years and it wears on you. But still, if my friends are like, hey, you want to play some Overwatch? I'll always play this game. I love it. I love everything about it. I think one of the most interesting things I've gotten into out of this is I've been watching a lot more competitive Overwatch, or more competitive summaries of Overwatch. That's such an interesting way to watch this game. It's real cool. But one final message before I go. I did play 10 ranked games. And ladies and gentlemen, I did get a rank. Oh boy, I'm so excited to see my rank. What?